Hello, Raffi.
Hey, Theodoris, what's the plan?
Maybe one of us ought to reconnoiter the monastery.
That would definitely make sense. I can do that.
I'll come with you. And once we get there, then we can go in.
Good. We'll do it without any reconnaissance. It's perhaps better not to draw things out too much. See you later.
Yes.
Jamila?
Hmm?
Wouldn't it make sense to reconnoiter the monastery before we go into the lion's den?
You want to climb around for hours on end and get yourself spotted in the process? It's better that we don't lose any time. Have you seen Ramon's leg? It's turned black.
Damn it. I'll have another look around.
You do that.
Our little hearth. Hopefully warm enough for Ramon. Ramon is very weak. I better let him rest. A camel hair blanket. Nice and soft. Just the thing for my sick brother.
Thank you, Fyodor.
Luckily, Jamila and Raffi thought of everything when they did the packing. Now we can put the long lengths of cloth from the Corsair's base to good use. Interesting stones. Not enough for a hearth. A mat made of palm fibers. So what's it doing here? This definitely has a deeper purpose. I'll just have a feel inside. Hopefully nothing vicious in there. Hamada, the desert of rocks. It looks like that was once a gate. So that's it. The stone monastery of the Holy Virgin. Rather a lot of cloth remnants. They ought to do for at least 2 people. Look, bits of cloth. We can sew some Bedouin clothing out of those.
Good idea. Let's get started.
A piece of bone, probably a camel rib. A handful of grain from the Bedouin camp. That's where we come from. She's watching the monastery. Better not disturb her right now. I don't have anything to say to Raffi just now. Ramon is very weak. I better let him rest. That's a Bedouin mat, woven from palm fibers. The mat is quite easy to split into fibers. Very nice long palm fibers. The camel metamorphosis still isn't finished. My needle's missing a hole. One small hole is all it takes to turn a bone splinter into a needle. Now I only have to get the camel through the eye of the needle. Do-it-yourself wizard. Our cover is ready.
Very good. Let's put them on.
Ramon, we're going to set off for the monastery now. Ramon, are you awake?
Yes. Yes, I'm awake. You want to go now?
Exactly, and we'll try and deal with things as fast as we can.
Make sure you are successful. You have to find 9 pieces, not one less.
Of course. Now you look after the other 3.
No, you can't leave them here. What if the soldiers discover the camp? Ramon is much too weak.
You're right. One of us has to stay here with him.
No, I don't want that. Better keep the key fragments on you.
But we can do it, just the 2 of us.
Yes. Maybe I ought to stay on guard here and...
No. What you have to do is much more important than anything else. And you need every man for the task.
Even if one's a woman.
All right, then we ought to get going.
Yes. Get a move on.
No one home.
Or visitors aren't welcome.
Could also be that nobody heard us knocking. The door looks pretty thick.
Hello? Is there anybody there? Hello?
Locked. There has to be some way of making your presence known.
I'll have a look around.
Raffi, wait. Perhaps it's better anyway if we split up.
Right. Someone should stay outside and keep the way back secure.
And what with me being the spare part at this Bedouin wedding? I suppose it's obvious.
Nonsense. If something goes wrong, we're all in this together. That's what it's about.
What's wrong with Jamila? Why can't she stay outside?
Because I can probably fight better than you 2 put together? I'm definitely going in there.
All right then. I'll clamber around here a little and see if there's maybe another entrance.
And if it's not too much trouble, one that might serve as an exit too?
Thanks, Raffi. There are some big holes in the wall. And what's that? Aha! A cross! Well, when you're on the way to see a Grand Inquisitor, having a cross surely can't hurt. There's something in Latin chiseled into the wall. Only he who knows the secret of the rocks will gain entry. There's something in Latin chiseled into the wall. Jamila? Do you think Raffi is annoyed because he has to stay outside?
Definitely not. In the end, we're doing all this for him too. He was acting like that to put you in a bad mood. With some success, as one can see.
Only he who knows the secret of the rocks will gain entry. Can you make anything of it?
Secret of the rocks. Didn't you find something similar on one of the dead soldiers in the temple?
What are we going to do now?
It can't be that there's no doorbell. Travellers must definitely come here seeking sanctuary.
Maybe you can only get in here with a secret password.
But there's no one to hear it. And if we were to climb up and try to...
No, our disguise is perfect. We just have to find the hidden doorbell or a secret opening mechanism.
You're just afraid of climbing, Theodore. Perhaps you think I hadn't noticed?
Rubbish! We simply have much more chance of getting close to the key fragments if we can move around freely in there. Perhaps there's a kind of lever or a bell rope in the holes.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Have a feel inside.
Why me? Aren't you the hero?
I'll have another look around.
You do that.
Strange. Why would these holes be chiseled into the wall?
Could be traps.
Water uncovers the secret of the rocks. Interesting. The water runs back out of one of the other holes. Now, we really need to see if there's any logic behind these sayings. I can feel a rope.
Perhaps some kind of doorbell?
Greetings, travellers. What is your wish?
We're looking for a shelter for the night, and we're hoping to find it here.
And you can have water, but shelter? Well, the caravans usually always camp in the shelter of the rocks.
But we're not traveling with a caravan. There are only two of us.
Are you now? Why is that?
We, are on a quest.
What kind of quest?
No, sorry. That's a request. We have received a request to, marry. I'm the bride, and this is my brother who is taking me to the bridegroom's camp.
Exactly. The brother takes the bride to the groom. That has been our custom for hundreds of years.
If that is so, come in. Wait here, please. I'll have to inform the abbot.
Do you think he bought it?
What? That we're brother and sister? Why not? He can't really think anything else at this point.
I'm happy to change that at any time.
Definitely not, as long as we're wearing this stuff.
You're right. It's already hard enough not to reveal ourselves. I nearly ruined it back there. Good job you stepped in like that.
Don't worry. As long as we don't act to raise their suspicions, our disguise is perfect. The hood throws a shadow over your eyes. No one will notice anything.
Welcome to the Monastery of the Holy Virgin. We have enough room. You are most welcome to spend the night here.
That is very friendly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It looks like there is a storm brewing. You have come here most opportunely.
May Allah hold his hand in protection over this monastery.
Now that is certainly not necessary, for God's blessing has been upon us for a considerable time now. You are most certainly exhausted from your journey. He will show you the way to your sleeping quarters. The evening meal is being prepared at this time, if you would care to wait a little.
But of course, we thank you for your hospitality. Excuse me? Venerable monk? He seems to be lost in prayer. A painting of the Virgin Mary and Jesus. The monk is kneeling before the shrine and praying. A monk keeping his eyes closed. Looks almost like a military encampment. Looks like further guests are expected. Looks almost like a plain monastery-style wooden beds. There must have been a statue standing in the niche at one time. That looks wider than the other beds. Also doesn't look like it's been used. As long as the monk is praying here, I won't be able to take a closer look unnoticed. In the monastery, we should really only talk to each other when it's absolutely necessary. An impressive monastery you have here.
It's very ancient, I have to say. I've only been here a few days myself.
Are there many monks who wear metal clothes?
You Bedouins are funny. I'm not a monk. I'm a soldier.
Aha, a soldier, right. There's a monk praying in the dormitory. He doesn't answer when you ask him something.
Well, that's quite usual for him. He starts praying every day at noon and then only stops when it's time for the evening meal.
When is the evening meal served? My stomach's been grumbling for days.
You'll have to be patient, like all the others. Just wait for the bell to ring. Today, though, it might take a bit longer.
Why is that?
Well, yes, it's something special. If I could only find the right herbs for it.
The herbs are for the evening meal.
Yes, of course they are. Or do you think I'm kneeling here in the dirt just for fun?
And why are you looking at the book at the same time?
This is a book of herbal lore. I'm a soldier, not an expert on soup ingredients.
May your God protect you.
And may yours protect you, Bedouin.
A monk who keeps silent, or who summons all others to be silent. Loads of herbs. Sadly, I have no knowledge of herbalism. The Bell of the Holy Virgin. The cook uses that to ring the bell for the evening meal. Practical. He can keep the fire burning without getting his fingers dirty. Greetings, venerable monk.
God be with you, dear guest. Call me Brother Jeremiah.
You're preparing quite a lot of food here, I see.
There is half an army to be fed.
Half an army? There's only one man standing in the yard.
At least a dozen soldiers are still on their way here. At least, that is what I've been told.
The herb soldier doesn't seem to be up to his task. He has a book on herbs in his hand, but I doubt he can read.
Lord forgive me.
What?
Not you. Oh, one really must do everything oneself.
This way suspicion won't fall on me. Now I just have to make sure that the cook uses the bellows. I'll just damp down the fire a little. Cooking things. Pans, spices, recipes, nothing that I can use. The stove is unlit. The meal smells delicious. The monks eat at this table. The stairs to the Grand Inquisitor's bedchamber must be behind there. I can't get in there right away. Well, have you finally gathered all the herbs together?
After picking out the poisonous roots and the weeds myself, yes. Dear God, why do those confounded Vesper bells always ring too early?
Dinner ready.
Are you hungry? Or will you keep watch whilst I have a look around the dormitory?
Go. I'll keep watch.